Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unboxing and review. Today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the red suit version of the Joaquin Phoenix Joker based off his appearance in the solo Joker movie. Now this is the first in the slew of third-party figures that will be released based off this film, and this one is by MToys. I've never owned anything from MToys before, but I have seen the promo pics and it looks pretty darn good. Now the Toys era and SW Toys ones should be coming in very soon, so why not hit that subscribe and bell notification icon so you're notified as soon as those videos go live on the channel. Now, if you do want to pick up your very own MToys Joker or any of the other versions, they are in stock right now with toyswonderland.com, and the link for that is down in the description below. You'll also find a link to a Joker 1/6 scale stand that's very similar to some of the Hot Toys stands that have been released for their figures. So if you'd like this figure to stand really nicely alongside your Hot Toys figures, you may as well check out those stands. Again, link is down there in the description below. Either way, what we're going to do now is get this box off the rotating turntable and do the unboxing. And here we have the box art for the red suit version of Joker by MToys. Now, I'm not entirely sure why it says casual version on the front there, but then again, there's no mistaking who or what this is supposed to be with a huge image of the figure itself on the front of the box. Now, I've never owned anything from MToys before, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but fingers crossed it looks as good as the promo pics. Either way, you can see a nice picture of the Joker sort of smile on the back of the box, and the rest is just plain red. Now, I do have the rest of the third-party Jokers coming in very soon. That Toys era figure has been shipped from toyswonderland.com, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. It does appear to be the more sort of deluxe set of all of the third-party Joker releases, but let's take a look at this guy right here. Now, I didn't really know what to expect in terms of the paintwork of this head sculpt, and seeing it through the lens, it actually looks pretty darn decent. I have owned the top version of the casual Joker before, the actual casual Joker, not this guy right here in the red suit, and that sculpt, in my opinion, was pretty darn strong. This one right here actually could be a contender for being one of the best. I really do like the skin texture underneath that makeup, and the proportion of the body looks pretty darn good as well, but we'll get to that when we take a closer look at the figure. Let's take a look at the rest of the stuff that he does come with. We will take, again, a much closer look in just a second, but he comes with his bouquet of flowers, and then a little cigarette in a baggie, then pretty much just some hands and his revolver. Either way, what we're going to do now is get all of the accessories laid out and take a closer look at everything he comes with. And here you can see everything that comes with the red suit version of Joker. Now let's take a look at his mask first. This is more of a rubbery style plastic. As you can see, it's fairly malleable, does have an elastic piece on the back so you can use it to attach it to the head sculpt, and it's painted pretty darn well. You can see the red is fairly clean, so is the blue. Now the hair is something you have to be a little bit careful of. Mine has been coming out as I've been manipulating it. When it comes out of the box, it's sort of at the top of the mask, but you want it more down the sides. You can put a dab of glue there, of course, and sort of stick it back down, but just be careful when you are messing around with it. Now, he does come with his bouquet of flowers. These are very reminiscent of those sort of trick style flowers, which of course he used in the movie where they sort of shoot out of this stem down here. I really like the way this looks. This is a well done, well painted accessory, and so too is his revolver. The middle piece actually does move, so does the hammer on the back there. This isn't a metal piece like the Toys era figure, and we will compare them when we do the comparison video for all of the Joker figures. He also does come with his cigarette, which is exactly the same as you'll see when we review the casual Fleck version of Joker. Now you'll notice he is missing a display base. Like I said in the intro of the video, you can pick up a Hot Toy style display base for this Joker figure. There's 6 different styles available. Link is down in the description below to head over to Toys Wonderland and pick yourself up a display base. Now as you can see on the hand, there is a little bit of a sprue mark, and you will see that in the casual version of Arthur Fleck as well, but the paintwork is fairly decent. The array of hands is a bit weird though. I don't know why he's coming with this sort of saluting or flight style pose and then only one casual hand. Again, not entirely sure why they've done that, but they've made that choice, and I guess it works for the figure. Either way, what we're going to do now is get the red suit version of Joker out here and take a closer look. And here we have the Joker himself. Now let me just say, fresh out of the box, no crazy posing or anything like that, no accessories. This guy looks pretty darn good. I'm impressed with namely the paintwork on the head sculpt, and you'll see it a lot closer in just a second, but also the choice of body. It's a really narrow shoulder, sort of slim style body, and the suit isn't too bulky. There are a lot of layers here. This could have gone very wrong, but MToys have chosen their materials very carefully. It looks a little bit baggy, but I think that's intentional. In the movie, he wasn't really a sort of very wealthy guy. He wouldn't have these super expensive tailored suits, and this one doesn't look like it is either. The Toys era suit does look a little bit better, but again, we will compare them all when they all arrive, but for now, I'm pretty darn impressed with the way this guy looks. Either way, what we're going to do now is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker up close and personal, and let me just say, that head sculpt looks absolutely fantastic. MToys have nailed it with the paintwork. It looks really, really lifelike. You can see the skin texture underneath. The makeup also has a subtle sort of bleed to the edges, where of course it would be because it's being applied over the white base coat. And also you can see this sort of gradation to the hair. It's not just a flat green, so they've definitely put multiple layers in there. You can also see some sort of smudging and wrinkling up towards the top there. This, in my opinion, is one of the strongest Joker likenesses that we've seen so far. The hair is also done really nicely. It's got a lot of shading throughout. I really do appreciate the work that MToys have put in. Now, in terms of the body, as you can see, the proportions are really nice and slender. It does have the multiple sort of layers, so of course you can take the red jacket off if that is something you would like to do. And the buttons on the front are actually real buttons, so you can sort of plug them through the holes there if you'd like to do that. Not something that I'm going to really try and do myself. He isn't wearing a belt. I don't know if he was wearing a belt in the movie or not, but as you can see for the figure, he's not actually wearing a belt. Either way, what we're going to do now is pan the camera down and give you a closer look at the legs. Now, as you can see, his suit does continue down for the rest of the outfit, and it is a little bit baggy, and I do appreciate that. That number one means you're going to get more range of motion, and it also means that it's going to look more accurate to the movie. Again, this wasn't a sort of fully tailored and realized suit. This, I'm sure, was a hand-me-down or something like that. Now, you can see he is wearing white socks underneath, so I appreciate that attention to detail. Now, the shoes look a little bit cheap. There's no weathering. This doesn't really look like leather. It just looks like a plastic shoe, which of course it is. It also is a little bit loose on the foot, so you're going to struggle getting him to stand, and of course there's no detail on the underside there. I do think, based off pictures that we've seen, that the Toys era shoes look a little bit better, but again, as a package, this is definitely not too bad of a figure. I'm pretty impressed with the product that MToys have put out. Now, for a quick side-by-side comparison between the two different versions of MToys Joker, as you can see, they stand at exactly the same height, which is to be expected. They're the same figure underneath, all the way down to the body, and I'm sure the head sculpt as well. At some fundamental level, underneath all that paintwork, I'm sure they started off as the same sculpt. However, there has been some tweaking. As you can see, the hair comes over the forehead, and the ears are visible on the red-suited version of Joker, whereas on Arthur Fleck, they aren't. So as I said, at a fundamental level, they might be the same, but when you're buying these two different figures, you are getting pretty much two different sculpts. And let me just tell you, that's a pretty hard sell to pick up two different versions of Joker from the same company, and they have shown a lot of confidence in their product. So I really do appreciate that they've gone to that level of making sure they both look different between one another. Now, just going over articulation quickly on the red suit version of Joaquin Joker. Now, this is just a generic narrow shoulder body, so if you have any idea of how they move, then you've got a pretty good idea of how this figure can as well. Now, I'm sure you can push yours a little bit further than I am in this video when you get it in hand. Now, in terms of the head sculpt, it is on a ball joint at the lower part of the neck, so it moves around fairly decently. Just be careful that the shirt doesn't tuck itself underneath, and then limit your range of motion. Now, in terms of the shoulders, they can be moved up and down, so you get it more of a sort of sloped look, or of course you can situate it up as well, so you can make the shoulders seem a little bit more sort of slumpy. Now, in terms of the arms, they do move out a decent range of motion. Just be careful that they don't get hindered by the jacket itself, and of course you can move them forward as well. Now, he does have a single bend at the elbow, then a rotation at the bicep, and of course he does have a traditional 1/6 scale wrist peg at the wrist itself. Now, in terms of the torso, it is on a sort of split cut at the middle section, so you do get a decent range of motion, and it does rotate as well. Now, in terms of the legs, they do go out a fairly decent range, and they also go forward fairly decently, and there is a double bend at the knee, which is pretty darn tight. Now, the legs, and I should say the actual feet themselves, are on ball joints, as you'd expect, so a decent range of motion out of them as well. Just wrapping up on the MToys red suit version of Joker. Now, for a company that I've actually never even heard of, I'm pretty impressed with what they've put out here. The fact that they've gone ahead and made two different versions of this character from this movie, I'm really impressed with. This figure in particular looks like it could be one of the better red suit Jokers on the market. Of course, I haven't compared them in hand yet. That will be coming up very, very soon. But for now, I'm pretty darn impressed. Yes, it should have come with a display base. That, in my opinion, is pretty unforgivable in this day and age. If you're putting out a high-end collectible, it should at the very least come with a display base. And for this guy right here, being more of a sort of dancing sort of character in the movie, I guess you could say, he can't really pull any of his moves off without the ability to stand on his display base. He'll just fall over, so that is definitely not ideal, but just standing straight up and down and the stuff that he does come with is pretty impressive. The head sculpt also looks like it's painted really nicely, so as an overall package, this is definitely one that I recommend picking up. Now, he is in stock with toyswonderland.com, and the link for that is down in the description below. They also do have those custom Joker display bases. Again, link is down there, and while you're down there, also check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the brand new awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, and see what's coming up next on the channel. well. Also check out Justin and Steph, our brand new second channel for behind the scenes videos and Collection Room 3.0 updates, as well as renovation videos. Like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.